Welcome to the IADS Retail Park, where retail giants evolve or go extinct. I'm Maya, your host, and I'm joined today by Sylvan, Managing Director of the IADS. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. If you're new, we're thrilled to have you on board. Today, we're digging into one of the most promising, yet still misunderstood, developments in the world of retail sustainability: digital product passports. Selvan, there's been a lot of buzz on this since the EU's big announcement in late 2021, but I think for most people the concept still feels a little abstract. What's the real story behind product passports?
You're right, Maya. There's a real sense of anticipation, but also a lot of questions along with it. In a nutshell, digital product passports are virtual tags or unique digital IDs assigned to individual products. Think QR codes, RFID chips, or even tiny Bluetooth stickers. The idea is that each product carries a full record of its origins, materials, carbon footprint, care instructions, authenticity, and crucially, what to do with it at the end of its life. It's transparency, sustainability, and circularity, all rolled up in a single digital file.
That's quite an overview. What's driving this sudden momentum, Selvan? Why now and why Europe?
Good question, Maya. Now, just to give you a bit of a recap, in December 2021, the European Union made it clear that they want digital product passports as a tool to build the circular economy, focusing on sectors like fashion and electronics where waste is rampant. The goal is to extend product lifespans, streamline repair and recycling, and keep more goods out of landfill. It's also about consumer empowerment, giving people the real story behind what they buy so they can make informed, sustainable choices. And with regulations on the horizon, brands can't afford to sit this one out.
That makes total sense. We're seeing similar momentum among consumers, especially younger ones, wanting to know the story behind the things they purchase. Let's paint a picture. Walk us through a practical example. Say, a jacket with a product passport.
Picture this. You buy a jacket and there's a QR code on the hang tag or a chip sewn discreetly inside. You scan it and instantly you see the material breakdown, sourcing, manufacturing process, care and repair tips, even the product's carbon footprint and where it can be recycled. What's more, if you decide you're done with it, another owner can scan and access that same data, adding to the product's ongoing story.
It feels a bit like every item gets its own digital profile that lives on and updates over time.
That's a perfect way to put it, Maya. The record is dynamic. If you take the jacket for a repair, or if it's resold on a platform, that info can be updated. And the beauty is, it benefits both the consumer and every stakeholder along the supply chain, from recyclers and repair shops to brands and even regulators. This helped consumers understand exactly what impact their purchase decisions were making.
I'm curious, what's in it for retailers and brands aside from just ticking a compliance box?
There's a lot more than just avoiding fines. First, retailers that have already invested in RFID, NFC, QR codes, or blockchain tech can use those systems to power product passports. This means enhanced brand trust, easier anti counterfeiting, and efficient recalls if needed. But the real game changer is in new business models. Rental, resale, and recycling all become easier to execute at scale because the product remembers its entire life cycle. Plus, there's huge potential for brand loyalty by providing after-sales services, personalization, or exclusive content tied to that item's passport. You extend your relationship with the customer beyond the initial sale.
That really taps into what Gen Z and millennials want: not just a product, but a brand relationship and experience that continues well after checkout. Are there examples of brands or platforms already putting this into action?
There are some standouts for sure. Eon Group's IoT platform is a great example. Brands like Yoox Net-a-Porter, H&M, and Pangaya are using Eon's circular ID to track and communicate product info. You can scan a garment and get everything from sustainability credentials to resale options, care instructions, or even styling tips. Avery Dennison's partnership with CertLogo is letting consumers verify authenticity using smartphone scans And startups like Wiliot are offering stamp-sized Bluetooth chips that log a product's life, movement, and environmental conditions, all self-powered.
Those are real world examples that make this feel less theoretical and more like the new standard in waiting. So these digital passports aren't just customer facing. There's a technical back end side as well.
Definitely. For customers, the passport clarifies origin, care, repair, and resale. But for recyclers, repairers, or even customs officials, it provides the technical specs and compliance info needed to handle those goods responsibly. It's a two-way street, front-facing storytelling and behind-the-scenes logistics and compliance, all on the same platform.
That dual purpose could really streamline global supply chains, especially as regulations get more complex and consumers demand more actionable info. Of course, we have to talk about the hurdles. What's standing in the way of product passports becoming universal?
Well, standardization is at the top of the list. If every brand or region uses a different passport system, chaos will ensue. Platforms like blockchain bring trust and traceability, but even there, governance and technical standards are still developing. Capturing accurate, comprehensive data is no small feat, especially for brands with global, multi tier supply chains. And finally, privacy is a concern. The balance between openness and protecting IP or sensitive details needs careful navigation.
And let's be honest, updating and digitizing old systems, training teams, and aligning on global standards is a heavy lift. But the prize seems worth it. Looking ahead, it seems like product passports could be the bridge we need to a truly circular economy. But what specific steps should department stores and retail groups take today to prepare?
Start by piloting digital IDs or passports with select brands. RFID or QR is usually the fastest way in. Reach out to supply chain partners to discuss data sharing and standard protocols. And think creatively about after sales touchpoints. How could repair services, rental, or resale be connected back to the product passport? Don't wait for regulations to force the move. The first movers here will own the trust and likely win the most loyal, future minded customers.
It's really all about creating a sustainable, transparent ecosystem, one where products, brands, and customers are genuinely connected for each stage of the life cycle. Sylvan, I want to thank you for making this complex topic so accessible and energizing. Your examples brought the possibilities and the challenges of product passports to life.
It's always a pleasure, Maya. You know, it's an exciting time for retail, and seeing these new technologies unlock better, more circular business models feels like the right step forward for everyone.
Well, folks, that's a wrap for this episode of the IADS Retail Park. For more insights, practical guides, and global retail trends, follow us on LinkedIn or visit our Substack. Until next time, keep pushing boundaries and stay curious as we map the next big moves in retail together.